In a quiet orchard where the air always smelled of honey and leaves, a shiny red apple dangled from a crooked branch. The wind brushed past and made it sway gently. Every morning, it watched the golden hills beyond the fence and sighed. "I don't want to stay here forever," it whispered softly. "I want to see what lies beyond those trees, past the scarecrow, past the pumpkins, past the edge of the sky." The other apples giggled in their clusters, shaking their leaves in amusement. "Silly dreamer," they said. "We just fall, roll a little, and rest in the grass. That's what apples do." But the little red apple wasn't convinced. Inside its shiny skin, something sparkled, something that felt like adventure. One breezy morning, the orchard was painted gold. A playful gust tugged at the apple's stem just once, then twice, and snap. Down it went, landing softly in the grass. For a heartbeat it just lay there, dizzy and thrilled. Then, instead of waiting for someone to find it, the apple began to roll. Down the hill it went, spinning past sleepy pumpkins and a smiling scarecrow with straw hands spread wide. "Adventure awaits," it cheered as leaves whirled beside it. The world seemed so big, and every turn of the hill revealed something new: puddles sparkling like stars, mushrooms leaning like curious hats, and the sweet hum of bees that followed it halfway down the slope. At the bottom of the hill, the apple bumped into a tiny hedgehog carrying a bundle of pine needles. "Oh," squeaked the hedgehog. "Where are you rolling in such a hurry?" "Anywhere," laughed the apple. "I want to see everything." The hedgehog tilted his head, smiling. "Then I'll walk beside you for a while. Every traveler needs a friend, and I could use a bit of company." So the two set off, one rolling, one trotting down a winding, leaf-covered path. They talked about clouds shaped like dragons, and how far the brook might go. Every few steps, the hedgehog gently nudged the apple forward with his nose, whenever it got stuck in a patch of moss. They reached the bubbling brook that sang as it danced over stones. The apple leaned carefully over the edge, gazing at its reflection in the rippling water. It glowed red among floating golden leaves. "I look brave," the apple said proudly. "You are," replied the hedgehog, smiling. "Bravery isn't about knowing the path ahead, it's about rolling forward even when you don't." The apple thought about that. Maybe being brave wasn't only about going far. Maybe it was also about trusting each bump and twist in the road. A soft breeze rippled through the trees as if agreeing with the hedgehog's words. By afternoon, the forest opened into a lively village market. Baskets of apples, pears, and pumpkins filled the air with sweet scents. Children skipped between stalls, and ribbons fluttered in the wind. The little apple rolled toward the laughter and chatter, its shiny skin catching the sunlight. A girl in a red dress spotted it among the piles of fruit. "Oh," she gasped. "This one is perfect." She lifted the apple gently, cradling it in her hands as though it were a treasure. The hedgehog peeked from behind a crate, smiling proudly as the apple winked at him. "Thank you," said the apple softly. "You've brought me exactly where I needed to be." The girl placed the apple carefully in her pocket and hummed all the way home, while the hedgehog waved goodbye from the market gate. That evening, the apple sat on the girl's windowsill beside a flickering candle. Outside, the autumn sky glowed pink and gold. From the cozy room, the apple could see the orchard far away, just a tiny shadow on the horizon. It listened to the girl's mother reading bedtime stories, to the soft crackle of the candle, and to the peaceful wind brushing past the glass. The apple realized something important. It had traveled far, not just in distance, but in heart. It had brought a smile, warmth, and a story to someone new. "Adventure," it whispered contentedly, "isn't only about where you go. It's about how much joy you bring along the way." And as the candlelight danced over its shiny red skin, the apple glowed a little brighter, knowing its journey was complete. Adventure isn't measured in miles, it's measured in kindness. courage and joy shared along the way.